We are now live.
Thank you, Melanie. So 6:05, I will call this meeting, our February meeting to order. First up is public comments. Have there been any public comments?
Yes, we received a public comment from Alaska about the environment here at Washington Ave. His concerns about lack of seating near the reference area and the level of noise at Washington Ave. So I'm responding to his letter, and I'll share my response with the board.
Thank you. We'll move on to our consent agenda. Does anyone have any questions about the consent agenda? There are no questions. I will take a motion to approve the consent agenda. You, Trustee Dallas, is there a second? Trustee Barnum, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? The motion carries. Is our finance report. Turn it over to Shona and Ellen.
Hello, report to cover December 2022, which is 6 months or 50% of the way through our fiscal year 2023. Applicant fiscal year total expenditures are 40% of the modified budget. Their total revenue is 53% of the modified budget. Just a couple of brief notes this month. We did receive a pilot payment in December, which amounted to $477,000. And we also made our annual payment to the New York State retirement system in December, which amounted to just over $400,000. Anyone has any questions on any reports?
Any questions on the treasurer's report? Okay. Thanks, guys. We will move on to committee reports. First off, is trustees reporting out. Yeah, I'll just take over. So agenda item 5.1. Did anyone interact with the library this month? I want to share. Emails or page.
I went to 2 events at the library this past month. I went to a movie in Moscow with the Off Branch, and then last night I went to the history of the Underground Railroad in the South End at the Off Branch. That one was actually, I was really thrilled to do it. Every single one was going for about 20 people there, so it turned out.
This is proper public event, but I attended the Friendly Foundation board orientation. I sit on their board automatically. And I just wanted to commend them for doing a really nice job on their board orientation. It's the first time they've done it. They've got the new board members, and we took a tour of this branch. We did some introductory things that was really productive. And they're out there cabling right now, so they hired them, and they seem to be on a really good track. So I just wanted to say that they did that with them strong. We will turn to our committee reports. First off, we're going to nominate a committee.
This is our first meeting for the year, and we're responsible. We we wanted to focus on this sort of unfinished business from each year. And then consider our values and policies. The meeting was attended by, trustees for our mission school, trustee for the Robinson, and we would join, our president, the party, and it's the people of the Archway, Maple. I was like, I or do not need to do that. But one of the things, a couple of things that we started back in last year, and it goes over to this year, so we're very concerned about, the makeup of our board, the diversity of our board, and that we're as inclusive as we can possibly. We, we are interested in making sure that after people are recruited to the board, that they also are encouraged to pursue opportunities to serve in leadership roles. And to do that, we're interested in seeing what we can do to provide opportunities for everybody to be informed about the roles and offices. So that maybe in the future they will see themselves in those positions. The other thing is that we want to be ready in terms of the executive. And so it's important for us to know softly if anybody's interested in meeting their seats this year, so that we can do the work that we need to do properly. As we consider our role as a nominating committee and how we align with the strategic plan, two things come to mind: diversity and inclusion and community engagement. Both of them important. We talk about being intentional about the work that we do, looking around the table and seeing who is not here, and having a conversation around to get people to consider the possibility of somebody as a trustee. So we discussed some strategies for hiring a community. We talked about meeting with people and different groups and just drafting camping speeds of interest. Consider something. If you don't have anyone ready to share with that, think about it. Think about what can we do to encourage for that. So those were the things we want to look forward to engaging community and being involved with the board and this down the road. We had good conversations about some strategies that we could follow right now. And so, Andrea thought perhaps we could make some changes on our website and how leadership position talks a little bit more about the current board what we do. Trustee Robinson thought, we were thinking about places because she suggested that perhaps we could take to charter schools. But there was a need that we could do, including, and again, just fancy and to encourage people to think about how they want to charter schools and a deeper level of our library. So, we are looking at perhaps making a PowerPoint presentation where we could really have a good conversation and explanation for the board members and also officers. So pretty much, I think that was it. Our next meeting is going to be on the 21st of December. If anyone is considering reading their seat of the trustee, I ask that you email and let me know so that we can begin to consider. Any questions, any concerns? Yes.
That was a very important report. So my question is on the diversity and inclusion and engagement. Um, and maybe I'm new, I'm just trying to understand, because it's an election, how are we able to, ensure diversity and inclusion?
Well, there isn't a good way to ensure, but what we do is encourage. There are groups that I have, and I've been involved in a lot of, but, you know, I have, there are groups I have never seen at this table, not have. And so we, early on, before election time, go and talk to people about the library and how the community are involved and how it can contribute. You know, how there should be a linkage between their community and the library. We're all in the city, and we want to be respectful of the community. So if we go to ancient American organization, and start talking to people, if we start talking to a team of women, I have never seen an African American male on this body, you know. So if we start talking to organizations from the jumping into the stage, then we'll have a better chance for people running, consider running, and we'll do what we can to prepare everybody that we can be applicated in a final conversation.
So is it that they've never won, or is it that those groups that you referenced never won, or is it that those groups that you referenced never won?
No, I think that maybe they don't, I think maybe they don't see the cost necessarily because of what. I can recall a couple of cases that we were, we had a couple of, you know, candidates from, they were successful, but so, you know, you need to have more people being out there and trying. So that's the whole thing about encouraging people and helping them see the possibilities.
I'm just wondering about the data, like if, when we go back to past elections to have actual data to reference, to say, okay, so for instance, when we went in, there were 10 candidates, of all diverse backgrounds. So I'm just curious, it's just curiosity, but it's a great report, it's just curiosity as to what the data is and as to those groups, and the diversity of the candidate pool, of the approved candidate pool. Because could it be that I ran as a candidate, but I didn't have enough signatures? Or could it be I ran as a candidate and I didn't win? I do like how you're saying, just making sure that people are aware of what the parameters are for running for the seat. Yeah, so I'm just curious about the data, what the data saying about the historical candidates for the election, from prior election.
And what I would say is that when we ran, when we had all those candidates, and that was not a number. Okay, that was not a number. We don't usually have that many people running for. Okay, or running for, or I think it should much try to do. So that was not one. That was the focus on intentional outreach. That we need to be more of. And following the Russian people. You know,
So I would like to make a comment on the reference to that diversity. This is the most diverse that this board has been. And when I think about how we continue that, just thinking of our own experiences and how we got here and what information was brought to us, I also feel like waiting can be a barrier. I don't think we need to have an organized group or committee to say, hey, we're gonna go here at this particular time, at this particular date to do this particular thing in reference to outreach, because that's not realistically how this board is being written. So information is not shared. So I'm not gonna wait for a nominating committee meeting to say, let's go to Trustee Robinson's board. I'm gonna ask Trustee Robinson, hey, you think you can let me know when the next meeting is, or X, Y, Z, if I wait for that, it'll never come. So I think, in reference to outreach, it's good to do what we can do now individually, because I'll be honest, I don't feel like we will come together as a group to do that. But I think individually, even making a little connection helps, and talking to people, going out in the community on a daily basis. When I'm talking about our routines and things we're interested in. You work for the school, you work here, you work there, what can we do to collaborate right now? Not waiting for 2024, but right now to outreach and to work together and build a relationship with each other. So that's what we're not.
So that's actually one of the things that we had talked about was how, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? We're gonna have questions.
Policy about it.
So I'll be quick, we had our meeting, on January 24th. Recommended a couple policies to the board, with some minor changes with the exception of the work selection policy, which has the most changes. I think that those were attached, but at least the two policies, the weight safety policy, work schedule, less time and compensatory time for management, confidential staff. We tabled a couple other ones, but those were the three that were recommended. I'll take any questions if there are. Then later that we're gonna go into how we do that. Represent not the policy.
Because we don't have, right?
Yeah.
I had, we received as the board, the like modified policy.
No, I didn't see on.
Okay.
We'll get the check.
Thank you.
It is facilities.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Trustee Goss, on the one policy, administrative staff, agent, financial. There are suggestions that I'll share with you.
Yeah, that's.
Every very fun. So. Trustee Bynum. And the director on the. The updated discuss were. The memorandum that was done. Or that. That cannot go on the ground, so they must go on the roof, go off branches. They're waiting for the crane. That's May 2023. That would be likely to be implemented throughout the branches again. Waiting for. Yeah, the art that created the process. The process of waiting on that. There was some concern with the Jackson, the Delaware branch down, reported that the roof had no foliage on there, so clean that all. Also, the power outages, we are really concerned about why power kept going out over that way. It's nothing to do with us, has something to do with the transformer in the neighborhood that affects the entire neighborhood. Also, trustee Barnum had raised the concern over at Arbor Hill. There's a glare, and the presenters are doing certification, so it makes it difficult for the presenters as well as the patients to see the screen if they're providing that. She suggested some type of covering. So we, Adam suggested that maybe frosting or simply partial over window. They're looking for that.
Also, Andre has discussed, the executive director has discussed the staffing facility here at Washington. And it's become an issue with single occupancy, and but although there's 2 bathrooms available, I'm gonna hear me are using some of their time to bathroom availability. So, trustee Barnum suggested, something she saw that happening in Portland Library, and I also put a link there. So it's like a little, porta potty, but on steroids, it's, very nice type of unit. So, get a chance to look at that. That's something we might, we'll be discussing in the future, trying to resolve that issue. I also had concerns about the lack of use of small auditorium. We were meeting there for a government meeting, and Adam shared that the switch had, which was up in the basement, was completely off. He doesn't know how that happened, but he won't have that happen again. We made sure that because they also have to look on the memo, with you now, with Johnson. Implementing Johnson controls for the HVAC software, completion, and the movie for 5 minutes in the process. So he also showed is very technical on the on his computer, so he has access to that. So when he knows if a light is out or the heat is off, to show on his computer and all the ranges. So also, Trustee Barnum had made a motion. Well, actually, I also raised a question about in North Albany, UV lighting. I'm going to check with the school district. This was something that was implemented during COVID. To kill germs and all like that stuff. So, because we talking to the school district and we adjourn that. We also that memo about EV transit vehicles that'll be forthwith in the future. Also, they had issues with the Cadillac converters on the van that was stolen, but I'm going to suggest that going forward to put these in garage.
Very much. We will move to audit and finance. Thank you. Thank you.
Our charge is to work with the library administration to develop and approve a budget draft to be sent to the board of trustees in the time frame of January and February. Right now, we're in February. We're a meeting behind because we have snow. So our first meeting was last week. And trustee Barnum, trustee Dallas, and the executive director Nikolai, and director of finance Stump to review the draft budget. It's our first time to really talk about it and going to come. We had a few questions and we requested some more information from I just have to say, the budget was prepared so well, and explained so well. And, I think that's your first for Albany Public. It was really, really wonderful. And we said we had some questions after the presentation. So our next meeting will be on February 16th. And after that meeting, we're prepared to share the draft budget with the board on 2/28 at 6.
Thank you, trustee Dallas. Is there? Okay, no problem. Okay, last is our overview of upcoming committee meetings. So we'll just do from now until February 28th, which is our next meeting. In the note, any of the committees are meeting?
Finance and audit,
Okay,
So I still don't have a clear understanding of what my commitment is doing. And so I don't know what we're supposed to be doing. I'm not really sure what we're supposed to be doing, even though I have read the description in the bylaw. So. I just want to put that out there.
yeah, we should talk about it. The main job of personnel is to do the executive director's evaluation, which we traditionally have done in June. And might do again in June, but we might want to think about doing it later because Andrea will not have that miracle here in June. So we can talk about that. And I can email you any documents from like the last year. I don't think there's a ton.
Oh,
The other role that you're not called on to do too often, but is one of the original roles, which is in the collective bargaining agreement. It's one of the steps in the grievance process. I've seen committee now 2 or 3 times in that regard with respect to some employee discipline matters, but thankfully not all.
I figured that was the consider.
Yeah.
Also, so I didn't know if like policy, confidential policies on the key, if policies related to personnel.
Yeah, there's been different treatments of that over time. Sometimes the boards send personnel related policies to personnel, like before P&G does them. Other times P&G does own them. I think that's one of those things the trustees just said.
So other than grievances, is there any, there's recruitment, do recruitment issues fall under that as well?
I don't recall there being any situation where that was a regular topic for discussion. But I certainly haven't been the other person over the course of the last 2 years. I suppose if there were a need for the board to weigh in on that, that would be the appropriate time for the board to push it to, and I don't know.
Thank you, that gives me a clear
I find board docs to be really important, but there is a part, and I apologize if people really know about it, but it's new to me. But if you go into the menu on the top, I can't find it under pressure, but there is a number.
Yeah.
Yeah, under the library tab. It has different committees and time frames. I just recently discovered it.
Yeah, there's actually a helpful description under there that is more elaborate than the bylaws one. And that's true for most committees.
And I knew that, I think I was just looking for some direction, you know what I mean, from executive leadership, just to say, hey, this, because again, we're on move, so this is where you are, and it's what we put you on, and it's what we're looking for you to do, especially in my case, because not only am I on the personnel, you want to share. So I think I was really looking for some direction and some, just something that, hey, it's what we're looking to do, and it's what we should be thinking about coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk again in between things. Thank you.
When you were asking about recruitment, was that staff recruitment as opposed to like board recruitment?
Oh, yeah, no,
Okay, okay, just, my brain went the other way and I got you.
no.
Thanks.
And I don't mean like the personnel committee recruiting, but difficult in recruiting and, things like that.
That brings us to our director's report.
Sure, and I know that this is a little bit of a shorter meeting so that our friends from Upper Hudson can do their part. So I'm going to keep this super short. Our material circulation continue to rebound and exceed pre-pandemic levels, which is really fantastic for that element of our core services. We have also begun preparations for the library's centennial celebrations, which start up in May and will continue through October. So we have a staff committee. We're also working closely with Friends of Foundation. And on the safety front, unfortunately, we've had two partners who had to back out for different reasons. I will actually leave those to you to review. And if you have questions about this report or anything therein, I'm happy to address them perhaps at the next meeting. That would allow plenty of time, and I know we're pressed for time tonight, so. Is that fair? Okay.
Does anyone have any questions? That are, want to be asked now?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we're here.
Okay. And we really value those partnerships. I haven't given up on either of them. None of us will. So hopefully I'll have some better updates next month or later this month, I should say.
All right, well, that brings us to our one item of new business. To propose service change for St. Patrick's Day Parade. Want to talk about that?
Absolutely, sure. And I'm really looking for approval for this recommendation from the board. Apparently the St. Patrick's Day Parade in past years has been not necessarily a great example of a family-friendly event that brings a lot of people into the library space at Washington Avenue. So I'm actually recommending that we close the Washington Avenue location on that Saturday only and encourage our patrons to visit one of our other 5 branches that are open on Saturdays. Last year, we invested a decent amount in mitigating the effects of the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Apparently, there are a lot of intoxicated patrons who, or I should just say people, who are, we needed to protect the library from in order to make it welcoming. So, but it kind of it wasn't a great solution because it was costly and it was also really disruptive to normal library operations. We had to reroute people all the way around to Elm Street, et cetera. So that's why this recommendation is in front of you. We are offering a program on St. Patrick on that day at the Bach branch. We also have a St. Patrick's Day themed event happening later in the week, a leprechaun style St. Patrick's Day fun event at I think that's also in Bach, but anyway, those are 2 events that are happening that hopefully we can encourage patrons towards, and I really appreciate your consideration of this recommendation.
For a second, motion. Trustee Fire, is there any questions, any discussion?
So we're taking the close down altogether, right? No staff, no travel.
Correct.
Signs on the doors that they.
Absolutely, yeah, that's an important part of the communications around this, because you never want to close a location without a lot of thought and consideration for the people it's going to affect. So we'll have a communication plan that we get out around this service change.
Will other staff go to other libraries or will you send out to other libraries or?
Staff from Washington will be reassigned.
How would you feel about?
It's a day that is filled with trepidation, I would say. I mean, parade is supposed to be a joyful, happy thing, and it is often. It's just that this particular parade is not quite like the other parade, is my understanding. Of course, I've never been here for it, so I'm relying on the feedback from staff who've been here a lot longer.
And in support of that, I would say that, the city of Albany, has taken in part stance for St. Patrick's Day, given, in light of past instances, you all used to do it, and they used to have cupcakes and they used to have that. So it's just not a fun experience for homeowners. It's not a fun experience for residents, it's not a fun experience for. So I think even though they did get rid of catering, there's still some issues that happen. So.
In reference to the parking, will the parking lot be blocked off? Did you guys put up a no park, are you gonna apply for no parking permit on the library backing?
It's my understanding that when we were open on St. Patrick's Day Parade Day, we would put up such signage, and it wasn't as effective as we hoped it would be, which is another kind of consideration here. Even with,
No, my question is even with the closing. So let's say the library is closed, right? Are we still gonna put up?
I mean, if we're closed, we would have no reason to really be concerned with this parking there. And in fact, it would probably help the parade goers who do want to enjoy the parade, and we wouldn't have to worry about, defending the parking lot, so to speak.
My word is worried about the what does to happen.
We're
There, if you're allowed to do a park in the parking lot where something could potentially happen to the property.
Thank you. We will definitely be putting our vans and any vehicles inside the garage for the day, to the point.
Any questions? All in vote? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
For other order of business, I just put quarterly board evaluation on here. Printed it out, just to avoid the tech issues that I ran into last month. So I thought we can kind of fill it out on our own time while we're here tonight. And before you leave, maybe we could all put them around where Melanie's sitting right now. We'll just stack them up and I'll take them home when we leave and make a report on it for next month. You don't have to put your name on there. And if you need a pen, you can leave a couple around.
I'm sorry.
Yes, no problem.
I know. I know what I'm talking about. I have a quick question. So, and I feel like we've done one of these before and it was virtual, but I think I might not pay that much attention to the question. So because it's printed out, reading it a little bit more, right? So is this the questions, are they standard? Are they the same questions we had in the past? Because I'm a little, so there's a couple of questions. I was like, hey. So I think one of them was, most board members participated and no one dominated the discussion. I feel like, and right, someone dominated the discussion. I feel like that's not really the great question, because if someone's dominating the discussion, it could be that they need clarification, I think maybe the word choice is wrong, but that's just my opinion. I'm just wondering if there's a better way to phrase that, if you're just saying, so like, how would that need improvement? If one person's dominating yours, it makes it just sound, I don't know, like, like an interpersonal exchange is not acceptable. Or only limited feedback, when it could be something that, really requires additional feedback. I don't know, I can't really put it into words, kind of like when we had a conversation with Ron about civil service, and we kind of went into the weeds, but it was a lengthy conversation, it was a vigorous discussion, but I just think about that when I look at that question, that's all.
Yeah, so to answer the first part of your question, this is the same list of questions that we've used as long as I've been here. But they're not set in stone. I mean, we can always look at changing them in the future. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And that was the only one I had on it. That's fine.
That's a related question, so I
Just a second. I had a question about, the evaluation as a tool that would be the thing, right? So you say you're gonna get and then you're gonna bring them back, but I feel like the executive committee should probably, before we make a report, look them over, see what we can improve, see what people are saying, and then we can bring as a whole, that the executive committee can make that decision and come back, if we're using them as a tool.
By report, I just meant report how many people checked okay for each question and how many people checked improvement.
Right, I understand that, but then how can we improve? What questions do we need to follow up on? As a,
So that
the committee,
that'll be an agenda item at the next board. And that's
but I'm kind of just wondering when, like, everybody else could be something that that. I vote for, I think we would.
okay.
No, I'm just, it's a tool, it just fill it out, but it's not gonna go into. Yeah. I'm looking for about 2% okay, we're doing fine, but where is the even put it in? What do I do? Yeah.
No, I didn't realize you were drinking that from, like comparing, I love visual things, it's great. My question was just, as you mentioned, like maybe, like there's consideration for rephrasing the question. I'm just curious, who would that be, which committee would be responsible, or if there were to be modifications, which one that would fall to, or would be, if that,
I don't know.
I didn't know.
The two of the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, just like, like you said, I've been here as long as I can remember, but that doesn't mean that with like a new board and new perspective, especially with like, Trustee Gal comes like the first board. She's been in her tenure, so maybe it's like time to revisit it, possibly, especially if things like that is. So I just want to curious for that work.
So as a board, we want to, I believe on here, you want to do your questions over and then send the survey out, or do the survey out right now and then go back to the executive, then revise, or what I mean? You want to do 2 surveys, or do you want to do this one and then the next one make it better? And if we revise before we do it, yeah.
So if you guys meet and then revise whatever, maybe we can mark these up and have suggestions and then give it to you, and then we can create whatever we created and then give it out as an evaluation.
I think if you want to use it, right, like, you mentioned like data is valuable, right? So having a consistent thing that we will use for theoretically years to come, like, might be a good idea.
That sounds good, yeah.
It sounds like this is what it should be.
No, this is good.
I love it.
This is good. I'm glad I printed it out.
Okay, one other.
Yeah.
Just to make sure there's no like, the board is responsible for X number of quarterly evaluations or when it's some deadline, like. That's, I just think now it's that,
No,
like, you guys are screwing up our deadline.
No, we've traditionally done it quarterly, but it's not written in stone somewhere, so.
I like that, I like that one back. But still gives you a chance to, change course, pivot, and self-correct. So, yeah.
Since Upper Hudson is here, and when we had the initial sort of Upper Hudson, they had all sorts of resources. So would it also, I can't look. So would it also make sense for us to sort of enlist them if we're revamping the survey?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We'll definitely. Thank you. This is good. Anything else before we move on? All right, so I will call for our second public comment of the evening. For the second public comment. Here. All right. So I think we can entertain a motion to adjourn, and after we do that, I think maybe we can just get up and stretch for a second, and then up and we'll take it from there. 2 minutes later.
Skip the question. I mean, I know it just says leave it, but don't in fact ask the question.
We don't have a need, right? Yeah,
I was just saying, don't even say, is there a need for executive session?
we don't have to.
I don't, I'm just. I'm looking at the agenda, it's on the agenda, and even though it says it's needed because we're alive and people are looking, you know what I mean? It makes sense that, okay, so does anyone see the need for executive session? Because just. I'm just saying, we're a board in totality, so just because, I think it's always fair to put it out to the bottom. That's all.
There. Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Trustee West. Second. Trustee Robinson. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Right, so feel free to stretch or use the restroom, and then we'll get going in a
Yeah,
second.
we're gonna arrange some tables and do a little bit of stuff, so certainly 5 minutes,
Okay,
but no more than that.
perfect.
And we just ask the trustees to come back over, right? That's,
Yeah, in the,
that's the intention.
yeah. Well,
Yes. Barbara, can you take our stuff? Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna move them around and move the microphone.
will we need our,
Because then you're limiting style, but you can certainly have them.
okay,
Where you can leave your stuff on the table. Where we.
Melanie, do I have to turn this off?